We come from a time of COVID where digitalization entered our education in a way we could never have guessed before. We've learned a lot of good things, but we also know that we have a lot to learn and to develop. That is why we work together with head teacher and policymakers to enhance the digital transformation, to support it by working on resilience, our skills, our competencies. And it's necessary that we do this because the students of today, they need our support to be ready for their lives and their learning afterwards. So digital transformation needs to be effective and balanced in the schools because that's what needed the future. Why is the digital transformation of education important?
The importance of digital transformation is because of the changes all over the world. And as an educator, you want to be in line with what's going on in the society. And at the moment, we have a lot of digital programs and things in the school without even knowing what the future will bring. And we're just working now with what we have. But the future will bring a lot more. And I think the transformation will have to be into looking what even more you can do in the future with digital and possibilities.
And what do you see as a challenge that is not yet in the schools?
Not right or not ready?
Not yet.
Not yet. At the moment we work with programs which helps children to do math, to do language. But I think we need more and more to do kind of research by children, to let the children experience with what is all the possibilities there are. And I think at the moment we don't have the equipment for that yet. And we don't educate our children yet to look beyond the boundaries of what we know now. And that's something I think we have to do more in the future. I don't know how yet, but I think that will be the future for digital education.
Yeah. And the safety issues?
That's very important. Safety issues, that's what we're working on now, but that's also with the safety issues from what we know now and what happens now. And I think that more and more the children use all the social media, they more and more realize what the dangers are in that area. And I think we as adults, we are not brought up with it. And we see a lot of... But children already know that's something you don't do. Although we have to educate them though, what's gone. And because children like to experience, children like to see overgoing the boundaries, yeah.
And do head teachers need training for this? What kind of teacher training would be necessary?
Should they need, because of their age and the previous professional CPD-related trainings that they have already received from the Minister of National Education is not enough for them because the new developments are also new for them.
Yeah.
So get them more enthusiastic to learn this kind of new technologies is also new for them, and then it's a part of our trainings are ongoing to convince them to be involved in this kind of developments, to get this kind of trainings.
Yeah.
After convincing them to be involved in this kind of developments, the next step is to share their experiences with the staff and also the teachers in the classroom.
Yes. Yeah. How the digital transformation could support sustainability and diversity in the schools?
Yeah, that's a good question, and with two different focus, because sustainability and diversity. First of all, I start with the diversity. We think that the digital transformation can afford and can take a huge development in the treatment of this diversity. All these families in our schools that have few economical resources, we think that the digital transformation can be a very good way, a very good path to break these distances between the families, because nowadays almost every family has at least a smartphone. And then we can start to work with these students in this way. And I think this could be a very interesting way to break these distances, these social and economical distances.
So then it's about communication.
Yeah. And if you start to make some different projects in the digital network, we think that these families could be more encouraged to work in this environment.
Yeah, to include them in the schools' projects and programs.
Yeah, because the schools also, we can also provide computers and laptops to these families.
Yeah.
Because all the schools start to have a very an important amount of digital equipment. Yeah. But as I said, with a smartphone, you can start to work in some digital, in some specific digital components, and we think it could be a good strategy to break these distances between the different social.
And the sustainability? And
the sustainability, we also think, first of all, the most evident is not to use paper, but this it's only a drop in the ocean. But it could be a start, and it also could be a very interesting way to conscience the people that we have to do a change in our way of living, and all these digital competences, we can start to work to work this conscientization with our students, with our families, that we have to do a real change with our lives, a circular economy. And we have to not to use so much paper, for example. But as I said, this is only not the most important. But we think it could be an important, for example, to use some electric cars, some electricity, changing our forms of energy, and it could be a good beginning.
Start.
Yeah, good start, yeah.
What do school heads need in order to be able to really support this digital transformation in the schools?
Well, I think there are 3 things that are essential for a school leader. First of all, what's the purpose of the digital transformation that you aim for your school? Second, does it suit to our values at our school? And third, and most important, is it beneficial for our students?
But what does the head teacher need in order to make it possible in the way you just described?
Well, I think as a head teacher, being it myself, it's important to be very clear about those 3 things that I just said. And it's not that you need to have the answers yourself, but you have to proactive look for answers in and out your organization. And you have to bring that information together for the vision that you have. So to be very clear what's ahead, but also be able to get the information from wherever it is, if it helps the digital development that you aim for at your school.
Would you need a training as a head teacher?
In more ways, I think. So I don't believe in a course, digital transformation, how to lead a digital transformation, but I believe in things like this, network meetings, collaboration between schools, communicate with your colleagues, parents and students. I think those are the key elements to train yourself. And now it is about the digital revolution, but it could also go about another development in your school. It's a way of acting, it's a way of leadership that you train yourself learning on the job. So if you have done it a few times, you know the drill. And I think that could be the downfall for some school leaders, that I think that I know it already because I've done it so many times, just to stay curious. It's a word that we used during those in this session during the past days. And I think curiosity, stay curious at every change that you want to make.
How is this kind of study visit helpful to do digital transformation in the schools?
Well, it's very helpful because you learn from other countries and other cultures how they develop their own technological skills in the schools. You have discussions about ethics, about culture. So it's very helpful for us. Yeah.
Do you have examples of a moment that for you was a real learning moment, an eye-opener or inspiration?
Yeah, I think the part of the discussion about ethics, I never took a moment to stand still with the question why we do certain things. And when you think about ethics and the outcomes of the discussion, then I think that was the most important part.
What do school heads need in order to be able to lead the digital transformation in their schools?
Okay, I think first of all, the school leaders need knowledge. Knowledge, it's to know what are the real needs of their school in digital transformation. Yeah. And also it's important school leaders training, because when they know where they need, it's important that they have the strategies, the skills to share that with their staff. That's the principal point. And also, I think it's quite important that all the schools have enough resources from government to be able to develop their own project. The main point is that the project focuses on the reality of our school, of each school, and to solve the problems, especially for students who have not the possibility to stay near the digital tools.
And do you think now the head teachers are already enough equipped? Are they ready? Do they need more, or is everything okay?
It depends on the school. There is lots of difference between the schools, and it's because of that the government think that we must develop a strategy that must suit on each reality, and there is schools that are more advanced in their skills and with their tools and with their connectivity, and there are another smaller schools, maybe in rural areas, that have less tools and have less experiences about that, and it's important also to share between the schools the experiences, because it's a good way to learn also.
So actually you say the differentiation in the training is important, but most of all networking and sharing your knowledge.
Yeah, that's right. It's I think it's the ways that you can learn faster. Yeah. Because you learn with other people that have experienced it before. These projects quite similar at you, and then you can share, and it's near for you.
We come from a period that COVID changed education in our schools, and the digitalization came in rapidly. We learned a lot, and we saw some things were very good for our students, but some things have to be better. That is why it's important that we learn about the digital transformation and what school heads, what leaders need to do to really equip and support this transformation. That is what this project is about, the digital transformation in our schools.